Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here, and as I'm sure most of you know, I have done several videos on a product series called Enlighten. However, I am definitely aware that Enlighten is not the only fish in the sea known as Chinese clone brick. So today we're going to be looking at a couple of other brands that will probably come up when you go looking for these sorts of things online. So that is why today we will be going over Sluban and Ausini. Starting off, we have Sluban, whose logo is a strange pointing man for some reason. Anyway, Sluban is something that I have actually run across a lot because when I'm searching on stores, it tends to pop up when I search for Enlighten. That's kind of strange. It's not trying to trick me into thinking that it's Lego, it's trying to trick me into thinking that it's knockoff Lego. That's actually kind of sad when you think about it. Anyway, as you can see, Sluban's designs are actually decently above average. They actually look pretty good, they look fairly crisp, they're definitely above the minimum. I mean, even this plane has a removable roof, but I'm not going to show you that because I'm worried it'll disintegrate the moment I try. Yeah, Sluban may have some above average designs, but their brick quality is terrible, and it completely drags down any advantage that the nice designs would have had. The design work itself is not too good either. In fact, I kind of see it falling apart a little bit on me already here. It's not very up to par, which is why I am worried that if I try to mess with it too much, it'll actually disintegrate. It also doesn't help that all of these clear windows and stuff have this really grimy, foggy, clouded look to it. And this school bus, it looks kind of funny with the flat front that is clearly meant to be used with a city bus. And also the colors, especially on the school bus here, are kind of dull. They look like imitation Lego. These things are like best luck level bad, so I really can't recommend them despite their interesting design work. I mean, it is possible to get them for dirt cheap. The plane here, along with a few of the support vehicles, has a suggested retail price of $35. It's not that hard to get it for $10. I mean, if you kind of want to mess around with the design work, honestly, I'd try to see if I could find the instructions to try to make it out of regular Lego instead, although with all of these fun parts here, maybe not. I can't even tell what kind of plane this is. It's not an Embraer, because they have rear-mounted engines. It's kind of strange. So yeah, while Sluban might be really terrible, they do have a couple of interesting ideas going for them. One is the minifigures, which are kind of like a halfway cross between a Lego minifigure and a Lego Friends mini doll, and they kind of have ball joints on the wrists and head, rather than the kind of swivel joints you get on regular Legos. The other interesting thing they have is they have easily the most adorable brick separator I have ever seen. Yeah, it's a little alligator. That's kind of fun. The brick separator, which is normally this big orange chunk that you have no idea what to do with in any set above $50, in the case of Sluban, it is an additional toy, and it turns any of these city sets into a corny B movie. Or you know what? I think it already is. Welcome aboard, Mr. Anderson. Whoa. And here we have Ausini. They, like Enlighten, are in the business of making a lot of interesting things. For example, they are the only set I could find online that had made anything that had sort of a Wild West theme. In this case, they have a bunch of Wild West train sets that they've put together. They also have some military stuff, and this is what I got in order to really test the bricks out, and they look kind of interesting. I love the idea of a bunch of Wild West train sets, and they have a lot of the Lego train parts. It looks like Lego train track, and it actually came with like another 5 pieces with a little bit of a curve to them. Not enough to make a track set out of, but they do sell just the sets of the tracks for fairly cheap. Although, I gotta love how their translation works. This is definitely not something made by English-speaking countries. Transport the coal! And this set was by itself. It came with the locomotive, the coal tender, and this old-style carriage here. Although, while it has some interesting ideas, I am starting to see a lot of the problems that this has. For example, this train locomotive here, not only is it actually shorter than the cars it's pulling, but the way that the cabin has been designed, I can't even have the engineer sit down in here. He just won't fit. I have to have him kind of bent over all the way, which is kind of weird. Although it does have a proxy for what would be like a train engine. It has a box on here, so if you wanted to give it a motorized engine, it is certainly able to do that. It's got the magnetic couplers, and it has a lot of the bricks that actually sort of resemble either Woma or Creo. So it's some interesting designs, but unfortunately the Woma and Creo bricks don't really convey the same clean look as you'd get from Lego or even Enlighten. It has some interesting designs to it, but it falls just painfully short. It actually has a lot of printed pieces to it, which is kind of interesting. All these details on the roof, the front here, and all the characters. Transport the Coal is the sticker, but that's pretty much it. It's got some fun details in this car, too, with a little stove inside, but unfortunately, it's got some inferior design work, and it really doesn't live up to the promise that the big computer-generated models would lead you to believe. That and the faces are just kind of weird. I mean, there is sort of a way to make a Lego minifigure face. It has that sort of je ne sais quoi that really only Enlighten seems to have grabbed all that well, so this is okay, but I really don't think it's worth the price they're asking. Like, this thing was 35 bucks, and I'm like, I honestly feel I kind of overpaid. So Ausini is not really a good alternative brand, unlike Enlighten. So in conclusion, Sluban and Ausini measure from terrible to okay. They are definitely not going to be a replacement for Lego, and I don't think they're even a match for Enlighten, because while Enlighten blocks aren't quite on the level of Lego, they make up for that with some sheer design chutzpah. They do all the little things that you'd expect only Lego to really have the attention to do. Like, they're putting out a series now called Police Battle Force that just has these amazing sets to it. Like, they have this sort of Dirty Harry 1970s style looking police truck, and they also have this gigantic semi-van that transforms into a fully functioning police station. It is literally a cop fortress, only rather than changing from a rolling castle into a wall, it changes from the gun truck from Sonic Adventure 2 into a fully functioning police station. I really want one of those. I mean, my gosh, that pickup truck I talked about before has windshield wipers! Windshield wipers! And that is why I keep pushing brands like Enlighten, ones that aren't just maybe slightly above average or just barely tick the boxes for what's necessary. Enlighten has summoned up a whole bunch of incredible design aesthetic that is on par with Lego, and they are some competition that I feel Lego desperately needs to revitalize its brand. It's like it has the guts of the Lego from the 1990s, but the technical innovation of the Lego from today, and I really hope that Enlighten continues to do their work. I'll be going over some more of them later. I'm going to see if I can try to get some of those Police Battle Force, but until next time, this is Kohdok signing off.